Om Shivashakti Samarambham Bhaskaracharya Madhyamam Asmat Shrinath Padyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Okay, we generally have a limited people today, so we'll do amongst this group. Let me just see. Radha Guru, can you do either Kilakam or Ratri Suktam, whichever you're comfortable with?
I will be comfortable to be a student for today.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Whoever wants to, since we have a small group, Vasu Ninga.
I can do Rajesh. I can also do Rajesh.
Okay, so Lata and Lata, Sanjita, Lata and Vasu. You can pick whatever you want, whichever one, Vasu. Kilakam or Ratri Suktam.
I'll do Kilakam.
Okay, go ahead.
Lataji, is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine. No problem.
Okay. Okay. At Kilakam Asya Shri Kilakamantrasya Shiva Rishihi Anushtup Chandaha Shri Mahasaraswati Devata Shri Jagadamba Prityartam Saptashati Patangatvena Jape Viniyogaha Om Namah Chandikayai Markandeya Uvacha Vishuddhanyana Dehaya Trivedhi Divya Chakshushe Shreya Prapti Nimittaya Namas Somadhadharine Sarva Meta Vijaniyan Mantranam Abhikilakam Sopi Shemam Avapnoti Satatam Japya Tatparaha Siddhyantyuchatanadini sorry?
Siddhyant, I think Siddhyant, Siddhyant Uchat.
Yeah, Siddhyantyuchatanadini, sorry, Nadhini, Vastuni Sakalanyapi. Vastuni Sakalanyapi. Etena Stuvatam Devi, Stotra Matrena Siddhyati. Namantro Naushadham Tatra Kinchidapi Vidyate. Oh, now utitana.
Now second.
Tatra Namantro Naushadham Tatra Na Kinchidapi Vidyate Vina Japyena Siddhyeta Sarvam Muchatanadikam Samagrانyapi Siddhyanti Loka Shankamimam Haraha Kritva Nimantrayamasa Sarvamedamidam Shubham Stotram Vaichandikayastu Tacha Guptam Chakarasaha. Correct answer?
Go ahead, yeah.
Samaptir na cha punyasya tam yata vani mantranam.
Vanni, not Vani. Vanni mantranam.
Yata vanni mantranam. Sopi shema vapnoti sarvamevam samshaya sarvamevam na samshayah. Krishnayam va chaturdashyam ashtamyam va samahitah dhadati pratigrihnati nanyataisha prasidhati itam tane
Itham.
Okay. Ittam rupena kilena mahadevena kilitam yo nishkilam vidyayainam no vidyayainam no yo nishkilam vidyayainam
Dhyala, it's just a dha.
na
Yo nishkilam vidhayainam vidha. Not dhya.
Okay. Yo nishkilam vidhayainam nityam japati samputam na sa siddhis ganasopi gandharve jayate naraha. Gandharvo jayate naraha na chaiva chaivap yatastas yata ore nisho na chaivap yata tastasya bhayam kwapi hajayate na napa mrityu मृत्युवशां याति मृतो मोक्षमवाप्नुयात् ज्ञात्वा प्रारभ्य कुर्वीत न कुर्वाणो विनश्यति ततो ज्ञात्वैव सम्पन्नाम् इदं प्रारभ्यते बुधैः. Sorry.
Sampannam, not sampanna. Sampannam. Not. Yeah. Tato jnatvaiva sampannam.
Nam. Okay. Ma sampanna போட்டிருக்கேல மா போட்டிருக்கேன்.
இல்ல, not. I think you said sampannam. You said. Okay. Sampannam.
Okay. Tato jnataiva sampannam. Correct?
Ah.
Sampannam midam prarabhyate budaihi. सौभाग्यादि च यत्किंचित् दृश्यते ललनाजने तत्सर्वं तत्प्रसादेन तेन जाप्यमिदं शुभम् शाइनस्तु जाप्यमानेऽस्मिन् स्तोत्रे सम्पतिरुच्चकैः भवत्येव समाघ्रापि ततः प्रारभ्यमेव तत्.
The first line, shanaistu. First word, shanaistu.
Shanaistu, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Aishwaryam yat prasadena saubhagya arogya sampadaha shatru hani parome moksha stuyate sanak kim janaihi iti devya kilaka stotram sampurnam.
So one thing I noticed, Vasu, if you look at the second thing, right? Second stanza, second line. Second stanza, second line. Like so, sarvametad vijaniyan mantra nama vikilakam sopi kshema. That first letter that is coming is a ksha. So it's not shema, right? So the K sound has to come.
Shema.
Shema. Like K. So if you write KSH, right? But the sha, just a sha is just SH. Shame. When we say shame, it is SHAME. Shame, right? But if you put a K in front of it, shema.
Shema.
Yeah. Okay. So on the letter that you're seeing there, which is coming in the second stanza, second line, adhe mari in the seventh stanza, first line. So pikshemam avapnoti. Even there, that letter, that is the ksha is coming, right?
Mama.
So other just notice which letter. You're following Sanskrit or English?
Sanskrit follow.
Okay, appa the ksha and the symbol vandrudhu illaya. So andu vanda you should say kshema. That ka sound has to come. Okay.
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 Sure.
One question I have. Number 7. Sorry. Yeah. I think 8. Dadati prade grinhatiya grikhnatiya.
And then her, we said, right? Her has to come first. And the ha has to come first, but you don't say the full grihnati. You don't say like on the full ha varad. So, but it kind of goes like dadati prati grihnati. Okay.
Now, grihnati solite, no?
I think you said it okay. I mean, that's okay. Only if you say grihnati, that is wrong.
Okay.
Okay. So
you said correctly. I was not clear. Grin for myself.
That's mark. I can put a mark and repeat it once again.
No, that's it. No, you got that one. Yeah. Okay. Lata, go ahead. Ratri Suktam.
Ratri Suktam. Vishweshwarim Jagaddatrim Sthiti Samharakarinim Nidram Bhagavatim Vishnur Atulam Tejasah Prabhu Brahma Uvacha Tvam Swaha Tvam Swadha Tvam Hi Vashatkhara Swaratmika Sudha Tvamakshare Nitye Tridha Matratmika Stita Ardha Matra Stita Nitya Yanucharya Visheshatah Tvameva Sandhya Savitri Tvam Devi Janani Para Tvavaidat Daryate Vishwam Tvaitat Srijyate Jagat Tvaitat Palyate Devi Tvamatsyante Cha Sarvada विशिष्टौ सृष्टिरूपान् त्वं स्थितिरूपा च पालने तथा संहृतिरूपान्ते जगतोऽस्य जगन्मये महाविद्या महामाया महामेधा महास्मृतिः महामोहा च भवति महादेवी महासुरी प्रकृतिस्त्वं च सर्वस्य गुणत्रय विभाविनी कालरात्रिर्महारात्रिर्मोहरात्रिश्च दारुणा त्वं श्रीस्त्वं ईश्वरी त्वं ह्रीस्त्वं बुद्धिर्बोधलक्षणा लज्जा पुष्टिस्तथा तुष्टिस्त्वं शान्तिः क्षान्तिरेव च खड्गिनी शूलिनी घोरा गदिनी चक्रिणी तथा शांकिनी चापिनी भान भुषुण्डी परिधायुधा.
Lata, one second. Sorry, I was on mute. And the eighth one, right? Eighth stanza, second line, Shanti kapro. Again, same thing, right? Kshanti re, which first is a sha.
Okay.
Next is a sha.
Sha. Okay. Shantihi, Shantire vacha.
Yeah.
Okay. Kadgini, Shulini, Gora, Gadini, Chakrini, Tata, Shankini, Shankini, Chapini, Bhana, Bushundi, Paridhayuda, Saumya, Saumyatara, Shesha, Saumye, Vyastvati Sundari, Paranam, Parama, Tvameva Parameshwari, यच्च किंचित् क्वचिद्वस्तु सदसत्त्वा किलात्मिके तस्य सर्वस्य या शक्तिः सा त्वं किं स्तूयसे तदा.
So, anga visarga is not needed. Shaktis satum.
यया त्वया जगत् स्रष्टा जगत् पात्यत्ति यो जगत् सोऽपि निद्रावशं नीथ क्वस्त्वां स्तोतुमिहेश्वरः.
So அந்த இடத்துல நீதஹ நீ அங்க இஹ் sound comes, right? So நீத கஸ்துவாம்.
Oh, sopi nidra vasham nita kvastwam.
No, not qua. Not qua. Kastwam.
Kastwam.
Yeah.
Sopi nidra vasham ni. You don't have to tell the visarga, correct?
Yeah, the visarga vandu you put like a h, like tak and the nita.
Nita kastwam.
Yeah.
Okay. Sopi nidra vasham nita kastwam stoti miheshwaraha. Did I tell it correct?
Yeah, stotu miheshwaraha.
Stotu miheshwaraha. Yeah. Vishnu, this
ish is the joining letter.
Okay. Vishnu sharira grahanam aham ishanaye vacha karitaste yato tastvam kastotum shaktiman bhavet sattvamittam prabhavai svai udharai devi sanstutha moha eito duradarsha vasurau madukhai dabhau prabodham cha jagat swami niyatam achyuto lagu. Niyatam achyut. So it will be niyatam achyuto or
no, first the knee is a long knee. So prabodham cha jagat swami niyatam
achyuto lagu bodhas chakriyatamasya hantu metau mahasurau.
And I think one thing I saw in the, and I was on mute at the time, so I couldn't stop. And the number 4, right? Say the first line of number 4.
Tvayaitat dharyate.
Yeah, that's correct. I think now you said it correct. I think when you said it the first time, and the tvayai, I think you said something else there. So
okay, adu actually varsiya padichu varumbodhu konja tongue twister ஆயிடுது.
ராஜேஷ், ஒரு குவிக் क्वेश्चन. நான் என் புக்ல தப்பா இருக்கான்னு கேட்கிறதுக்கு தான் கேக்குறேன். அது அந்த ந த்வம்மிதம் பிரபாவை ஸ்வைரூடாரை தேவி சம்ஸ்துதா தானே, அதுதானே இருக்கு.
prabhavaihi is there, right? You put a is to join, right?
Prabhavai.
So prabhavais swair udarair devi samstuta.
Swair udharai. Okay.
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 Swair udarair devi samstuta. Okay. All right. So what we'll do is just small change. So we'll start with the next right, the one which is right next after that is the Navakshari Mahamantram, right? So that's like 2 pages. So we'll cover that and then let's go into the pronunciation, because I want to do the pronunciation before we do Siddha Kunchika and thing. So anyway, so Ipo will start. Priya, you can be a student, and Radhagar, you can be a student. Okay. So in this 2 pages, so the way it works is, once you do whatever we have done right now, and then there is a nyasam. Nyasam just means purification, right? So the first nyasam you always do is karan nyasam, which means purification of your hands or your fingers, and then you do your the body nyasam, right? So now that your hands are purified, you use that to purify your body. So you do those purifications, and then you do a dhyanam, right, on Devi, and then you go and chant the Navakshari Mahamantram. Then once you chant the Navakshari Mahamantram, again you do a nyasam, Karanyasam first, Anganyasam, body nyasam next, and then you chant the 13th chapter. So that is the kind of flow of how it goes. Okay. So we'll first now do the nyasam before we do the Navakshari. So Asya Shri Navakshari Mahamantrasya Brahma Vishnu Rudra Rishayaha. Right. So Rishayaha again on the top. So we'll do that, and then I'll come to the next one. Asya Shri Navakshari Mahamantrasya Brahma Vishnu Rudra Rishayah.
Asya Shri Navakshari Mahamantrasya Brahma Vishnu Rudra Rishayah.
Asya Sri Navakshari.
Radhagari, 1 second, 2 times here.
Asya Shri Navakshari Mahamantrasya Brahma Vishnu Rudra Rishayah.
Asya Sri Navakshari Mahamantrasya Brahma Vishnu Rudra Rishayah. Asya Sri Navakshari Mahamantrasya Brahma Vishnu Rudra Rishayah.
Actually, and that's one small correction. And the Asya Shri Chandi Navakshari Mahamantrasya, just put the word Chandi there before Navakshari. It is not there in the electronic PDF, but that's how we chant it. So Asya Shri Chandi Navakshari. Okay. So the next word, Gayatrishnik, that word, the best way to break it is Gayatrishnig. So it's a little it's a tongue twister. Okay. So Gayatrishnik Anushtuba. So if you have a Ga, for those who are following Sanskrit, if you have a Ga there, you break that Ga into a Ik and a A. Okay. So the way you say this is Gayatrishnik Anushtuba Chandamsi. Okay. So Gayatrishnik Anushtuba Chandamsi. And then that's a Mukhe. Then Shri Mahakali Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswatyo Devataha. That is your heart. Okay. So Gayatrishnik Anushtuba Chandamsi Shri Mahakali Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswatyo Devataha.
Gayatrishnik Anushtubash Chandamsi Shri Mahakali Shri Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswatyo
Devataha.
Oh, sorry, Devataha.
And the Shri is only there in the beginning. Shri Mahakali. You don't have to say Shri Mahakali, Shri Mahalakshmi.
Oh, okay.
The Shri is only there in the beginning.
Gayatrishnik Anushtubash Chandamsi Shri Mahakali Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswatyo Devataha.
Gayatristik Anushtubhanchana Anushtubanchadansi
Anushtubash
Anushtubadansi
Chandamsi.
Anushtubanchandansi.
No, you're saying Anushtuban or something, right? Anushtubash-ish sound. Anushtubash Chandamsi.
Anushtubanchandansi Sri Mahakali Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswatyo Devataha. Gayatrist Anushtubandansi Sri Mahakali Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswatyo Devataha.
You're still missing that ish, so just make a check there. Okay. Anushtubash Chandamsi. Okay.
Anushtubanchandansi.
Yeah. Aim Bijam. So when you're saying Aim Bijam, touch your right, the shoulder area. Aim Bijam. Hreem Shaktihi, that's your left side. Kleem Keelakam, so that's in the middle. Okay, and then just hold your hands together. Sri Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati, De Prityarte Jape Biniyogaha. Okay, so we stop there. Aim Bhijam Hrim Shakti Klim Kilakam Sri Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati, Prityarte Jape Biniyogaha.
Aim Bijam Hrim Shakti Klim Kilakam. Klim Kilakam is
The middle, center.
Okay.
Center.
And Shri Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati, Prityarte Jape Viniyogaha. Aim Bijam Hrim Shakti Klim Kilakam. Shri Mahalakshmi, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati, Prityarte Jape Viniyogaha.
I think Mahakali you forgot. You said Mahalakshmi twice, but that's okay. Yeah.
Aim Bijam Hrim Shakti Klim Kilakam Sri Mahakali Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Prityarthe Jape Viniyogaha. Aim Bijam Hrim Shakti Klim Kilakam Sri Mahakali Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Prityarthe Jape Viniyogaha.
So this Karanyasam and the Anganyasam, right? The what you touch is the same no matter where you say it. Okay, just the Bija Mantram in front of it will change depending on what you say. It's there in Lalita Sahasranam also, but the Bija Mantram will change. But the Angushtabhyam and all that remains consistent. So the standard rule is the first one is you touch the thumb finger, right? The thumb, but you touch it with your middle finger and roll it up. First one. So I'm Angushtabhyam Namaha. Angushtabhyam is your thumb. So you first touch with your middle finger and roll it from bottom to up. Angushtabhyam Namaha. So once you do that, then it is very easy. Now you use your thumb as your kind of the reference or the base. Next is Hreem Tarjani Bhyam Namaha. So Tarjani Bhyam Namaha, you use your thumb and roll it bottom to up of your index finger. Tarjani Bhyam Namaha. Clean Madhyamabhyam Namaha. Use your thumb and bottom to up of your middle finger. Madhyamabhyam Namaha. Chamundaye Anamikabhyam Namaha. With your thumb, roll up the ring finger. Viche, double che. Viche Kanishthikabhyam Namaha is your little pinky finger, right? So from the thumb, bottom to up with your on your pinky finger. Next, you consolidate all of that. Aim, Hreem, Kleem, Chamundaye Viche, Kara, Tala, Kara, Prishthabhyam Namaha, which means you first, you essentially rub your palm and then rub the back. So Kara, Tala, Kara, Prishthabhyam. So the both sides. So first rub forward and then the back. Okay, so essentially your entire hand. So that is a standard procedure, right? The Bija Mantra might change depending on what you're chanting, but here this is the Bija Mantra anyway. So Aim Angushtabhyam Namaha, Hreem Tarjani Bhyam Namaha, Kleem Madhyama Bhyam Namaha, Chamundaye Anamika Bhyam Namaha, Viche Kanishthika Bhyam Namaha, Aim Hreem Kleem Chamundaye Viche Karatala Kara Prishta Bhyam Namaha. Aim is the middle finger ala you roll bottom to up of your thumb. That's the first one.
Right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I can see it.
Aim Angushtabhyam Namaha. Hreem Tarjanibhyam Namaha. Kleem Madhyamabhyam Namaha. Chamundayai Anamikabhyam Namaha. Viche Kanishtikabhyam Namaha. Aim Hreem Kleem Chamundayai Viche Karatala Krita Tarat Karatala Kara Prishthabhyam Namaha.
Yeah. You can do that when you're saying that itself. Okay. So you don't have to wait till the okay.
Nurbati Sulata.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Middle finger to this. Aim Angushtabhyam Namaha. Hreem Tarjanibhyam Namaha. Kleem Madhyamabhyam Namaha. Chamundayai Anamikabhyam Namaha. विच्चे कनिष्ठिकाभ्यां नमः ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डायै विच्चे करतलकर पृष्ठाभ्यां नमः
ऐं अङ्गुष्ठाभ्यां नमः ह्रीं तर्जनीभ्यां नमः क्लीं मध्यमाभ्यां नमः चामुण्डायै अनामिकाभ्यां नमः विच्चे कनिष्ठिकाभ्यां नमः ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डायै विच्चे करतलकरपृष्ठाभ्यां नमः ऐं अङ्गुष्ठाभ्यां नमः ह्रीं तर्जनीभ्यां नमः क्लीं मध्यमाभ्यां नमः चामुण्डायै अनामिकाभ्यां नमः विच्चे कनिष्ठिकाभ्यां नमः ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डायै विच्चे करतलकरपृष्ठाभ्यां नमः.
Okay. So now you're done the Karanyasam, right? Hand Nyasam. Next you're going to do Anganyasam. So this is also the standard steps. So first same, Aim, Hreem, Kleem, Chamundaye, Viche are the prefixes that come there. So Aim, Hridayaya Namaha, heart, right? So touch your heart, Aim, Hridayaya Namaha. Hreem, Shirase Swaha, means top of your head, Shirase Swaha. Kleem, Shikaye Vashat, which means the back, the bottom, the back of your head at the very bottom, right? Where the kudumi normally is, right? Shikaye. So Kleem, Shikaye Vashat. Chamundaye Kavachaya Hum. So that you cross arm, Kavacha means shoulders. So Kavachaya Hum. So touch your shoulders. Viche Netratrayaya Vaushat. Vaushat, that's the word is. So that some people touch only the two eyes, some people which with your index and ring finger you touch your two eyes. Some people also use the middle finger to touch the middle eye also. So it's your choice. So which sometimes they say Tritiya Netratrayaya Vaushat, which means they touch three eyes. Netratraya Vaushat can just be two eyes or three eyes. That's okay. Then Viche Netratraya Vaushat. Then Aim Hreem Kleem Chamundaye Viche Astraya Phat. Astraya Phat means two times, right? You hit with your like the index and the middle finger with the first two fingers of your right hand, hit your left hand two times on the palm. Astraya Phat. And then Om Bhurbhuvassuvarom iti Digbandaha means just snap your finger and roll across your head. Bhurbhuvassuvarom iti Digbandaha. Okay, so that is the standard procedure for this. And just so you can just say it only one time, Priya and Radhagaru. Aim Hridayaya Namaha, Hreem Shirase Swaha, Kleem Shikaye Vashate, Chamundaye Kavachaye Hum, Viche Netratrayaya Baushate, Aim Hreem Kleem Chamundaye Viche Astraya Phate, Om Bhurbhuvassuvarom iti Digbandaha.
ऐं हृदयाय नमः ह्रीं शिरसे स्वाहा क्लीं शिखायै वषट् चामुण्डायै कवचाय हुं विच्चे
नेत्रत्रयाय
वौषट् ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डायै विच्चे अस्त्राय पठ भूर्भुवस्सुवरोमिति दिग्बन्तः.
I think the Bhurbhuvassuvarom is Om Bhurbhuvassuvarom iti Digbandaha.
Okay, very good.
Okay, go ahead, Radhagaru.
ऐं हृदयाय नमः ह्रीं शिरसे स्वाहा क्लीं शिखायै वषट् चामुण्डायै कवचाय हुं विच्चे नेत्रत्रयाय औषट् ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डायै विच्चे अस्त्राय फट् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवरोमिति दिग्बन्धः.
Yeah, and then the previous one, it's not Phat, it is that letter that is there is Pa with the emphasis. Phat.
Okay.
Phat. Okay. Okay. We'll switch into the Dhyanam. So these Dhyana slogans are always little tongue twisters, little hard all the time. Okay. So I'll ask one question to see if Vasu and Priya, I don't know if Priya will remember, but Srilata Garu will remember. So this stanza, Khadgam Chakra Gadeshu Chapa Parigan Chulam Bushundim Shirah. I explained this in one of the classes. Do you remember where? In RNM class, the context.
In the Narayaniam class, right, Rajesh Garu?
Yeah, I'm asking where did this context come?
Khatgam Chakra, last 2 weeks back only you told actually.
Yeah, it comes in the 39th chapter, right? When Devi comes, and when Kamsa tries to kill Devi, he tries to smash the baby on the stone. So the baby then flies out of his hand, and then Devi assumes this form in the sky with 8 hands, each of them having one. That's exactly what this Khadgam Chakra Gadeshu Chapa Hari Ga Chulam Bhushundim Shiraha. Right? So that's what she's having in 8 hands. So it's essentially this is a Dhyana sloka. So essentially you're imagining Devi, right, with 8 hands and all the things that she's carrying. So I don't, because I'd said this during that class, that's why I called out. Anyway, so Khadgam Chakra Gadeshu Chapa Pari Ghan, that's the in sound that comes there. Ghan Chulam Bhushundim Shiraha. That's one line. Shankam Sanda Dhatim Karais Trinayanam. So that word you can take it. Karais Trinayanam Sarvanga Bhushavritam. Dhyanam. So you say the word Dhyanam and then you go with this. Dhyanam Khadgam Chakra Gadeshu Chapa Parighan Chulam Bhushundim Shirah Shankam Sandhadatim Karais Trinayanam Sarvanga Bhushavritam.
Dhyanam Khatgam Chakragadesu Chapa Parignan Chulam Bhushundim Shiraha Shankam Sandadatim Karaistrinayanam Sarvanga Bhusha Vritam.
The first line, Parighan, and that after the Ga that you have there, Parigha, the letter there is a half version of Nya. Okay, so that because it comes only half, the letter that comes is in. So Parighan Chulam Bhushundim Shiraha.
Parighan.
Yeah. In matana varum andha இடத்துல.
Parighan.
Yeah, Parighan Chulam Bhushundim Shiraha.
Okay. No time repeat.
Yeah, 2 times.
Dhyanam Khadgam Chakragadeshu Chapa Parighan Chulam Bhushundim Shiraha Shankam Sandadatim Karaistrinayanam Sarvanga Bhusha Vritam.
Dhyanam Khatkam Chakra Gadeshu Chapa Parikhan Chulam Bhushan Dhim Sirah Shankam Sandadatim Karaistrinayanam Sarvanga Bhushavrutam. Khatkam Chakra Gadeshu Chapa Parighan Chulam Bhusindhim Sirah Shankam Sandadatim Karaistrinayanam Sarvanga Bhushavrutam.
Yeah, the first line Shiraha. Okay, this is a visarga at the very end of the first line. Okay. Nilash Madhyuti Masya Pada Dashakam Seve Maha Kalikam Yamas Taut Swapite Harau Kamalajo Hantum Madhum Kaitabham. So because this is the third and the fourth line, right? So the tune, you will get the tune when you're saying 4 lines. Now when you're splitting it, it might be a little difficult, but try it. Nilash Madhyudimasya Pada Dashakam Seve Mahakalikam Yamas Taut Swapite Harau Kamalajo Hantum Madhum Kaitabham.
Nilasmadhyuti Masya Pada Dashakam Seve Mahakalikam Yamastaustu Apite Harau Kamalajo Hantum Madhum Kaitabham. Miscontent tune, sorry.
That's okay. You got it correct.
Nilasmadhyuti Masya Pada Dashakam Seve Mahakalikam Yamastaustu Pite Harau Kamalajo Hantum Madhum Kaitabham.
Nilash Madhyuti Masya Pada Dasakam Seve Mahakalikam Yamas स्तौत्सपिते हरौ कमलजो हस्तुं मधुं कैटभम्
hantum madum khaitam.
हन्तुं मधुं कैटभम् नीलाश मध्युतिमास्य पाददशकां सेवे महाकालिकां यामस्तौत्सपिते हरौ कमलजो हन्तुं मधुं कैटभम्.
Okay, we'll switch halfway. So Sridhar, you and Srilata Garu, you can be students for the second half. So this next stanza, I'll say the full one, so you get the idea of the tune, and then I'll break it into two lines. Okay. Akshasrak parashum gadeshu kulisham padmam dhanushkundikam dandam shaktimasim cha charma jalajam ghantam surabhajanam shulam pasha sudarshane cha dharatim hastai prasannanam seve sairi bhamardini miha maha lakshmim sarojastitam. Aksha srak parashum gadeshu kulisham padmam dhanuhu is there, but normally the dhanuhu, when it comes there and the ka is coming, the sound has to be ich. Okay, but for some reason everybody says, I asked Anna also and he says to say dhanush kundikam, so that's what everybody says it. So I don't know why, so we'll just continue to go with it. So don't ask me why it's ish and not ich in that case. So dhanush kundikam, comma or end, dandam shaktimasim cha charma jalajam ghantam sura bhajanam akshasrak parashum gadeshu kulisham padmam dhanushkundikam dandam shaktimasim cha charma jalajam ghantam sura bhajanam. Go ahead, Sridhar.
Akshasrak parashum gadeshu kulisham padmam dhanush kundikam dandam shaktimasim cha charma jalajam ghantam surabhajanam. Akshasrak parashum gadeshu kulisham padmam dhanush kundikam dandam shaktim asim cha padikama
Shaktimasim, just say it together only.
cha charma jalajam ghantam surabhajanam.
Shastrak parusham gadeshu kulisham padmam dhanushkundikam dandam sektimasim cha charma jalajam gantam surabhajanam. Akshasraka parusham gadeshu kulisham padmam dhanushkundikam dandam sektimasim cha charma jalajam gantam surabhajanam.
Shulam pasha sudarshane cha dhadatim hastaihi is there. Put a if hastaif prasannananam seve sairi bhamardini miha. So that word you can't break it quite. So sairi bhamardini miha mahalakshmim sarojastitam shulam pasha sudarshane cha dhadatim hastaif prasannananam seve sairi bhamardini miha mahalakshmim sarojastitam.
Shulam pasha sudarshane cha dadatim hastai prasannanam seve sairiba mardini miha iha mahalakshmim sarojastitam. Shulam pasha sudarshane cha dadatim hastai prasannanam seve sairiba mardini miha mahalakshmim sarojastitam.
Shulam pasha sudarshane cha daditim hastai prasannanam sarojastitam. Shulam
Garu, your voice is breaking up. Maybe turn the video off and try, right? Your voice was breaking up.
Shulam pasha sudarshane cha dadatim hastaif prasannanam seve हस्तैरिभमर्दिनीमिह महालक्ष्मीं सरोजस्थिताम्.
Next answer. Ghanta Shula Hala.
Quick question. On the Hastai Kapravam, it is a pa, right? Wouldn't that be an F then Hastaif?
Yeah.
Hastaif only, right?
Yeah, if only. If only.
If only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anytime spa or pra comes, it's if only. F.
If only. Okay. Cool.
Stanza 3. Ghanta Shula Halani Shanka Musale Chakram Dhanusayakam Hastabjai Dhadatim Ghananta Vilashat Chitam Shutulya Prabham Gauri Deha Samudbhavam Trijagatam Adara Bhutam Maha Purvamatra Saraswati Manubaje Shumbhadi Daityardinim. So Ghanta Shula Halani Shanka Musale Chakram Dhanuhu is there, put a is Dhanus Sayakam Hastabjair Dhadatim Ghananta Vilasach Chitamshu Tulya Prabham. Ghanta Shula Halani Shanka Musale Chakram Dhanusayakam Hastabjai Dhadatim Ghananta Vilashat Chitam Shutulya Prabham.
Ghanta Shula Halani Shanka Musale Chakram Dhanusayakam Hastabjair Dadatim Gananda Vilasat Chitam Sutulya Prabham. Ghanta Shula Halani Shanka Musale Chakram Dhanusayakam Hastabjair Dadatim Gananta Vilasat Chitam Sutulya Prabham.
घंटाशूलहलानि शङ्खमुसले चक्रं धनुस्सायकं हस्ताब्जैर्दधतीं विलसच्चितां सुतलै प्रभां. Did I say it right?
No. Vilasat Chitam Shutulya. Just say that last portion again. Chitam. Yeah.
Vilasacchitam.
Yeah.
Vilasacchitam Sutalya Prabham.
Chitam Shu Tulya Prabham.
Oh, Sitam Shu. Okay. Okay. Ganta Shulahalani Shanka Musale Chakram Dhanusayakam Hastabjay Dadatim Gananta Vilasacchitam Sutalai Prabham.
Chitam Shu Tulya Prabham.
Sitam Vilasacchitam Tulya Prabham.
Correct.
Okay, thank you, Rajesh.
Gauri Deha Samudbhavam Trijagatam Adhara. So you can break at that mada. Trijagatam Adhara Bhutam Maha and then put a plus. So you say those two lines together. Maha Purvamatra Saraswatim Anubhaje or Saraswatim Anubhaje together. Shumbhadi Daityardinim. So Daityardinim. So if you can say the two lines together, say it together. Otherwise, if you are able to, if you are not able to, you can pause after Saraswati Manubhaje. So at least till there, say it together and then say Shumbhadi Daityardinim. Okay. Gauri Deha Samudbhavam Trijagatam Adara Bhutam Mahapurvamatra Saraswati Manubhaje Shumbhadi Daityardinim.
Gauri Deha Samudbhavam Trijagatam Adhara Bhutam Mahapurvamatra Saraswatim Anubhaje Sumbhadi Daityardinim. Gauri Deha Samudbhavam Trijagatam Adhara Bhutam Mahapurvamatra Saraswatim Anubhaje Sumbhadi Daityardinim.
Yeah. And the sorry, just a small either. And the last line la Saraswatim Anubhaje is the right split only, but you don't have to explicitly make it unless you have to. So you can try to say it together, you can say it together. So Mahapurva Matra Saraswati Manubhaje Shumbhadi Daityardini. Okay.
Gauri Deha Samudbhavam Trijagata Madhara Bhutam Purva Matra Saraswati Manubhaje Shumbhadi Daityardinim. Gauri Deha Samudbhavam Trijagata Madhara Bhutam Purva Matra Saraswati Manubhaje Shumbhadi Daityardinim.
Now the next one, just so that we can confuse you more. So the first thing, the nyasam in there, the first one is you do it to your pinky first. And this is the best. These things, don't worry, you just write it and keep. Eventually, the more times you do it, you will just automatically remember it. So lam prithivyaatmane gandham kalpayami means with your thumb, roll up bottom to top of your pinky finger. First. Second, hum akashatmane pushpam kalpayami. So for this, you come back to your thumb. So you essentially you're starting with your pinky finger and then going in that circle. So remember it that way. But remember, every time you touch your thumb, the thumb is always touched with your middle finger, right? Every other finger you touch with your thumb. So hum akashatmane pushpam kalpayami is with your middle finger, roll up the thumb. Yam vayuvatmane dhupam kalpayami. You now go back to your index finger. Ram agnyatmane deepam kalpayami, middle finger. Vam amrutatmane amrutam kalpayami, ring finger. Some sarvatmane, you will have sarvopacharan in your book, but majority of the time people say samastopacharan. So you can just make that change and keep, but be flexible. Some people will end up saying sarvopacharan. It's the same thing. So samastopacharan samarpayami. So that is just, you kind of hold it in your namaskara mudra. That's good.
Rajesh, or quick question. இது எங்க இருந்து படிக்கிறீங்க? அந்த இங்கிலீஷ் இதுல இல்ல. ஓ.
எந்தலயும் இல்ல.
இல்ல இங்கிலீஷ் இதுல இல்லவே இல்ல. or நான் மிஸ் பண்றேனா?
It's not.
இல்ல என்னோடதுலயும் இல்ல வசு.
ஓகேப்பா. நான் மட்டும் இல்ல ராஜேஷ்.
Okay, it's there in Sanskrit. I mean, Srila Tagore, you should have it in your Telugu, right?
Sanskrit.
Sanskrit, I also don't have it, Rajesh ji.
Okay, all right. Let's skip this for today, and then I will send you all. I don't know why it's not there, but anyway, we'll skip this and we'll go to the other thing. So, like what I was telling, right, and we'll come back to this in the next class. Okay. So, like I was telling, is the aksharam. Like if you see just what I was going through now, all these aksharams keep coming. Lam, hum, yam, vam, sam, right? And then if you're looking at the Navakshari, if you are looking at the Matruka Sahita Navakshari Mahamantram, it has this aksharams in the front coming in every single thing, right? So that's where in Devi Mahatmyam, it's very, very important that you have the right pronunciation of these aksharams which are coming. So because essentially what you're doing is, before you chant Devi Mahatmyam, in each of these aksharams that you're chanting now, you're essentially imbibing Devi into it, right? So that's why this Aim, Hreem, Kleem, Chamundaye, Vichi, which we'll chant next, in front of each of it, you're putting all the aksharams and you're putting it in Devi is there in each of those aksharams. And that way, when you go and chant later, the actual Devi Mahatmyam 13 chapters, each of the aksharam itself has that much strength. So it's very important that you pronounce these things correctly, right? So what I want to do here is, I'm going to get you all back to basics of Sanskrit or whatever language you're following, right? So if you are all know it already, don't worry about it. It's okay. It can be a practice. For others, you can learn it. So as I'm saying it, right, I'm just going to say only the aksharams in the front. So Sridhar, I want you to repeat it like 2 times, and Srita Dagar also 2 times. And others, if you're following Tamil or Sans or English or Telugu, make sure that when that aksharam comes next time, it should automatically come to your mind what you have to say. Okay, so I'll tell you where to emphasize. So the first one is simple. Second is arm. So just other end Sridhar, you just say it. Arm. Okay, next. Im.
Im.
Next. Rim.
room, room, room. Sorry, which way is it? It is ream or room?
Room, not ream. That's
Room,
room, room.
room, room, room.
Room. And it's essentially if you look at this, right, the first room has only one curve, right? Sanskrit. Room has two
Room.
curves, so it's a double emphasis there.
Room. Okay.
Okay.
Room.
I feel like calling Vivek right now for making car sounds.
Yeah, I know.
Lastly, one more thing. Room.
Room.
No, so that's not room. Rim. No oo sound. Rim.
Room.
No, you're still saying oo. You're saying room. Rim. So remove that oo out of that word. Oo sound out of it.
Room.
Yeah. So this is what most people find it tough. So don't worry if you're still finding it tough. Next one is same what you did for rim, but with la. Lim.
Lim.
Yeah, im sound comes at the end. Lim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Loom.
No, you're saying lim. Lim. No, you're saying lim again. You're using an e sound here. There's no e sound. Just lim. Unfortunately, you can't convert it into English. That's a problem, right? So I can't tell you in English what this will be. So lim.
Loom.
Yeah, you are saying oo at the end. So try to fix it, right? So I'll just tell you at the end, right, what the challenge will be. Aim. Om. Aum.
Sorry. Om. Aum.
Aha.
Aha.
Okay. So now comes the challenge. So each of these things, right? The next one you're seeing is come. Next one is come. So you should see a difference when you say that. It cannot be the same sound, right? So the simple way of trying that is come. When you say come, you see air coming out. You can feel the air coming out of your mouth. Come. When you do it, the tongue goes to the back and it pushes out more air. So come.
Come.
Gum. Ngum. So this ngum there's no English thing for that. It's a combination of in and ga, but the ga is not a full ga. So it's ngum. It comes from the back of your throat.
Num.
No, not num. Ngum. It's not num, right? So
we say nyum.
No, nyam comes later. This is ngum.
Okay, I'll have to practice.
You'll have to practice that.
ராஜேஷ் இந்த கடைசியில காக்க கக ngா வருது இல்லையா
Exactly. அந்த ங்காக்கு மேல ஒரு டாட் ngam. So kha ga nga we say right nga. அந்த ங்காக்கு மேல im. So ngam. Okay, just practice that one. And there's actually a YouTube there is one video where he tells what part of your mouth to use and all that, but that's little, if you really want to get into that. But anyways.
Num.
No, it's num. So you have to say, think of N-G-A-M is the closest I can think to that. Num. But you don't say the ga fully. You just put a half ga. So num.
Num. Num.
Okay, so just close enough. Next one, cha, cha. The cha is second is the emphasis. Ja, ja. So chum, chum, jum, jum, nyam.
Chum, chum, jum, jum, yum,
Nyam. This is N-Y-A-M. Nyam.
yum. Chum, 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 jum, jum, yum.
Chum, chum, jum, jum, chum.
Nyam. No, nyam.
Nyam. Oh, okay, sorry. Chum, chum, jum, chum, nyam.
Yeah. Next, tum, thum, dum, dhum, num. That na is a difference. It's an emphasis na, num.
Can you do one more time? I missed that point. What?
Tum, thum, dum, dhum, num.
Thum, 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 num.
No, Trimichile, I lost you there.
I also lost myself. Can you one more time?
Yeah. So see, it goes in pairs. First, very simple logic. First of all, these are sets of fives, right?
Yeah,
So remember that they're sets of fives, and in the sets of fives, it's 2, 2, and 1. Okay.
Yeah.
And the first two is, in this case, it starts with a ta, right? So it's tum, thum, emphasis. Dum, dhum, emphasis. Num.
thum, thum, dhum, dhum, num.
Yeah.
Thum, thum, dhum, thum, thum, dhum, dhum, num.
Yeah.
Thum, thum, dum, dhum, num. Thum, thum, dum, dhum, num.
Yeah. We'll do one more. Okay, I'm thinking whether to do it or not, but it's okay. Next is the ta sequence. Thum, thum, dum, dhum, num. So this time the na, it comes from the tip. The previous na was your tongue would have gone back. This time the num is the your tongue is touching the tip, the front.
Thum, thum, dhum, dhum, num. Thum, thum, dhum, 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 num.
Thum, thum, dum, dhum, num. Thum, thum, dum, num.
Yeah, we'll stop here. The reason you have to take time this week and practice. The reason I'm saying that is when I am saying some of these things, I am emphasizing, but you don't catch it when I'm saying it. So for example, I'll go back to that Khadgam Chakra, right? The same thing what we learned today. Khadgam Chakra Gadeshu Chapa Parigan Chulam Bushandim Shirah Shankam Sandadatim Karaistrinayanam Sarvanga Bhusha Vritam. So when I'm recording and I'm saying, I'm always emphasizing those kha, bha, right? Dha, tha. I always emphasize. But sometimes what happens is when if you don't know the subtle difference, you'll hear it the same way. But now that I have told you all that each of this is different, and you go even look at the previous one, what is that? Ratri Suktam. It will be Vishweshwarin Jagadhatrim. The dha, second dha gets emphasis there, right? Sthiti Samharakarini. So sthiti and the third gets emphasis. So when you go and see even the Bhagavati, Bhagavan, everywhere the bha I would have emphasized. Like Nidram Bhagavatim Vishnor. So on that, so Admari, that's the emphasis you will eventually get to. You won't get it right away, right? So the best way to do this is, I know we didn't finish it today. I wanted to finish it, but that's okay. So we finished that is straightforward. The ka ka ga ga nga cha cha ja ja nya ta ta da da na ta ta da da na. So these things, make sure you are practicing it regularly, almost every day. Take a few minutes to practice it, right? And then you'll get to a point where the moment you see, I'll tell you exactly what the cue words will be. When the bha, dha, and all of those comes, you'll have to put an emphasis into those things. Okay, and that you'll eventually get it, but this will help you practice it. And there are a lot of YouTube videos. If you just go say in Sanskrit, they will tell you, oh, use this part of your mouth, push more air, and they'll give you all the technical details. But this will be what it is. Okay, so any questions so far in today's class? Else we'll end the class here.
Can you tell the ninth aksharam again, Rajesh? What is that? How do you pronounce that?
So that's a little tough one. If you unfortunately you can't say it in English. Okay, so let's take how the previous one is rim. This is lim. So it's not lum, it's not lim. Right? So the common mistakes are lum and lim are the common mistakes. It's lim. So that's what it is. You should not say the E, I, or U sound there. It's I don't think I can convert it to English, but
இது நீங்க ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணி அனுப்புவீங்களா ராஜேஷ்?
நான் ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணி அனுப்புறேன், but it'll be difficult to what do you call, listen and figure it out, but I'll try and send it. I have the recording. I have a recording of the Navakshari, so the recording will have the Navakshari in it, but that's okay.
The loom and all is like Jack Clouseau speaking in if you watch the Pink Panther. So a little bit like that.
இது வந்து people generally this is a little difficult only, and the thing is these aksharams will come later on in Devi Mahatmyam, so you have to get used to these aksharams now. You have to get used to the aksharams now, because otherwise it's going to come later and then it will become a problem, right? So
Rajesh, so you said touch, you have to have right shoulder padikano, left shoulder, and I was not able to, I'll watch the video and write it down. If you can, do you have any printout of that or any PDF document of saying, okay, this is where you teach touch your head, abdina?
Well, இது ரொம்ப simple 5 தான் இருக்கு. There's a broader nyasam which has like 50. You touch all parts of your body. So adukku வந்து there are writings I have, not for these, but these are just 5 things, right? Straightforward. So hridayaya namaha, அது பார்த்தாலே பேர்ல இருக்கு. Hridayaya namaha is heart, shirase head. That is straightforward, right?
இல்ல அது கரெக்ட். நீங்க அந்த thumb movement, அந்த thumbல இருந்து you start with your pinky, then go to the middleman, and அந்த மாதிரி.
No, I'll send it as a message. That's okay. I'll send it as a message, and you just write it down in your book and keep. That will be the best way.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else, everyone? She's on mute.
No, thank you. That's all. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. And I think this you can pay attention, because I'll tell you, and Sheelata Garu can check with her sister, Devi Garu. I think majority of the times when people chant, that's where people find mistakes. Is, oh, you didn't emphasize that bha, you didn't emphasize that dha and tha, right? So, and that only comes with practice. So you're not going to get it on day one, right? So
my brain is fighting too, but don't worry about it. You were fighting too, Odine. Like, whenever I chant something, my husband will come and point out, you didn't say this properly. Seriously, Rajesh is going to tell,